2. Hello, one and all, and happy holidays! It's that time of year. It's another Tuesday night here at IR Bad Games, and we are in the holiday spirits because I have a Christmas game for you. It may not look like it, but those that know. I've been waiting. I've been sitting on this one for about a year now since we played the original.
A requisite cooldown period after finishing the last.
Oh man! So
it was a very fun jaunt.
It was
the old Steins game, but it was quite the jaunt.
It was quite. Luckily, this one is nowhere near as long.
Right? Okay.
Yes, it's a very short story. If we go through all the routes, there's only like 3 or 4 or something like that. But when I went through it the first time, I think I beat it in like 22 hours. So, yeah.
I mean, that is nothing compared
to like, yeah, to the original or to Chaos Child, which was like 70 hours, I think.
Nothing. Yeah, it's like, well, I was half expecting like, oh yeah, it's like 8 to 12. Nope.
Oh, not quite.
Cool. We got ourselves a game. Quite a bit of fun though. These were silly.
These were. This one, not so silly. Because of the
we'll see.
we'll see. I think it makes itself pretty apparent pretty early on.
The best word.
It's you were asking me earlier about whether this was like a sequel or whatnot, and the answer to that is yes. So, Steins Gate 0, timeline wise, takes place after the events of Steins Gate. But it's also a prequel, as in Steins Gate could not happen without Steins Gate 0. And it's also like a what-if story. So it's like a sequel, a prequel, a what-if story, all rolled into one.
There was a time loop. There was, and yeah, my biggest problem was like this, apparently. What's the question that there must be answering here, which is what the fuck?
Yes.
How in the hell?
So
none of this makes sense. He shouldn't be able to do what he did. Like, it doesn't. That's not how time works.
Right. Which leads me into.
But here we are.
So, to give you a fresh recap of the story of Steins Gate, spoilers for Steins Gate, if anyone has not played it.
As if we could spoil the game without spending 100 hours talking through it.
Long story short, our main character, Okabe Rintaro, college-age kid in Akihabara in Japan in the middle of June, somehow manages to accidentally invent a time machine using a cell phone and a microwave. Shenanigans ensue. They start off, you can't really send yourself back in time, only send messages through the phone.
Yeah.
Long story short, the D-mail. All of this stuff, it starts off small, but the more and more they do it, the more and more changes you begin to see. At one point, the entire city of Akihabara is changed completely. And then it turns out that CERN, which is another government entity that is trying to also invent time travel, has discovered it.
They're an NGO.
NGO, yeah. Doesn't matter. But they, it comes to a point where no matter what Okabe can do, his best friend Mayuri dies over and over and over again. He tries everything he can to save her, going back in time over and over and over again, cannot do it. He realizes in order to save Mayuri, he has to undo all the things he's done with all of his friends, which leads them to have some pretty miserable existences. And the penultimate part is he realizes that in order to save Mayuri, he would have to let Makise Kurisu, his love interest and partner in crime, die in order to do so. In the original Steins Gate,
one of 6 different love interests because the game's a harem game.
Yeah, technicalities.
Technically. If this is a Christmas game, that is a harem.
Okay, I'll give you that. So the penultimate, getting close to the end, Okabe is trying to find any way possible to save both. He realizes it's getting fruitless. There's no way he can say. Anytime he tries to save Makise, Mayuri dies. Anytime he tries to save Mayuri, Makise dies. He makes one final attempt to go back in time to save her. He fails. He comes back. And when he comes back, this time he gets slapped by Mayuri to try to knock some sense into him. And she shows him a video from himself in the future that says, in order to save both, you have to fool yourself and fool the world. And so using that, he takes on his persona of Hounin Kyouma, manages to save them both, and he reaches the quote-unquote Steins Gate in which everybody is alive. Good, happy ending. However, as Eric has pointed out, time loops like this doesn't work, because if all that happened the way it does, then he would never be himself in the future to get the message. Steins Gate 0 is about the Okabe that failed, the original, the Zero, the one who was unable to get the message.
It's Okabe's all the way down.
It's Okabe's all the way down.
Solve this problem, but whatever.
So,
I was always saying, why is it that it seemed like it was reversed for the Prime universe was like Universe B or 2 or something the whole time through. So it's kind of funny that now they're like, oh yeah, because duh, dingus.
And
that was the second universe or what? I don't know.
Yeah, but that's all the preamble you have to know. Is this is the Okabe that tried to go back in time to save Makise and ended up giving up. He said, I can't figure it out. He lets her die.
But I can say, but I can, dedicate my life to making it possible for another Okabe.
Yes. And that is the entirety of this story. Don't need to play it, but we're going to play it anyway. Because
Oh, God. I'm so excited. And, and anxious. Oh, God. Right. Yeah. Her dad tried to kill her. That was he's the murderer.
Yeah.
But that was red paint, right?
Well, that was Okabe's blood. Oh, originally it was glow stick. It was going to be.
Okabe's.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's how he managed to fool everybody. But it was his blood, so she didn't really die.
Uh-huh.
But we are about to see. This is from the OG timeline when he comes back. That's where we pick up at. The hatch open. Bright light flooded my eyes. Or was I? Narrowed. I could barely make out the summer's twilight sky. I didn't want to leave. I just wanted to disappear. This is a lot darker and a lot more solemn, by the way.
Yeah.
But
no, that checks out. And I mean, his whole timeline is much more depressing, clearly.
Yeah. Someone grabbed my arm and dragged me out.
Oh, God. Yeah, names. Right. Whoa. You're already back. Hadn't even been a minute.
Okay. I didn't have the energy to respond to my own. I fell to the ground and wrapped my arms around. Okarin! Mayuri rushed over to me. She looked at my face but even her concern was too much for me. Please, don't talk to me. Just leave me alone.
I think my internet's struggling.
Uh-oh.
But anyway, whoa, you're covered in blood. What happened?
You want to be Suza?
Sure. Get him a towel, Dad, and water, and some clothes too. Hurry. Huh? What? Explain, please. Just go already. Okay.
Dari ran back inside. Are you okay? Hang in there. Don't die.
He's okay. It's not his blood.
Stop it. Just get away from me. Leave me alone. I couldn't save her. Not only that, I took her life with my own 2 hands. 3 weeks ago, very spot, I killed her. I murdered her. Save her. Excited. Same with Mayuri. Same. No matter how hard I struggle, the result will always be the same. No matter how many times I try, the result will converge on death. The cause doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if I time leap or if I time travel. Going to the past can't change the result. I thought I understood the cruel truth. Now I was forced to realize it again, and in the worst possible way. Nothing. I can't say Risu after all. I knew this would happen. I knew it would turn out like this. This anymore. I'm so tired. Enough already. Okay, what happened? So at this point, this is where the story has changed. In the original, this is where she picks him up and slaps him, but now she did not.
Right. Okay.
I killed her. I'm an idiot. All my fault.
Oh, the one where he goes back and like she falls on his knife or something. What happens?
He pulls out. He uses his Hounin Kyouma persona to freak the dad out, and the dad goes to stab him instead. Yeah.
He killed Mikise Kurisu.
Killed? That can't be true. It can't.
Don't worry. You got enough for one more attempt.
No matter how many times I try, it'll all end up the same. Yes. Oh, that's you.
What are you saying? Are you gonna give up? Billions of lives depend on you, Uncle Ocarin. Who cares if you fail once?
There's just no way to save Kurisu. You can't stop the world line convergence. That's the reality of this world. I learned that a long time ago.
I'll just have to slap some sense into him.
Can't! Not right to force him to do this. Can't bear to see Ocarin like this.
If he doesn't, the future won't change.
Why? Why does Ocarin have to change the future all by himself? That's too much for him to bear.
Because only Uncle Ocarin has the powers of an observer of the world.
Ocarin didn't want that. I think even if he tried, he'd just get hurt again. Impossible for one person to change the world all by themselves.
And that's why Steins Gate is cursed. I know how you feel, but I'm here for the sake of the future. I can't go back to 2036 either way, so I'm not going to give up so easily. Uncle Ocarin, I'll tell you one thing. This time machine has a finite amount of fuel. At first, I told you that it could only be used to go there and back twice, but there's actually a little more fuel than that. You know, riding on E as you
Right.
Always 10 more in the tank once even so, it can only travel about 344 days. See, yeah, that's someone who's been riding around without a lot of gas for a while. Even if you do a one-way trip, less than a year from now, you won't be able to reach July 28th. Remember this, when that day comes, I'll go if I must.
Someone was saying something to me, but I couldn't understand the words. I didn't want to listen to anything. Just wanted to sleep. Just let this all end. Just let me go. Ocarin? Ocarin? Hey! Ocarin! You don't have to push yourself so hard anymore, okay? It's okay to cry, Ocarin. Mayushi's here for you, okay, Ocarin? I don't know if Miyuri's words were the reason why, but tears started. Decided to forget everything. Ever since that day, I stopped going to the Future Gadget Lab. Missing link of the Annihilator. UPX, the new symbol of Akihabara, was located right in front of the station. In the hall on the fourth floor, preparations had been going on all morning for the ATF, Akihabara Techno Forum, convention. Universities and labs from both inside and outside the country would work together to put on special seminars and symposiums at irregular intervals. My school, Tokyo Denkai University, was participating as part of its industry collaboration efforts. Students were required to attend these seminars and submit reports to their instructors. So it's also, what, 5-6 months later? Yeah. Okay, it's November now. Otherwise, or end of November. Yeah. Otherwise, they wouldn't get credit for their related classes. In addition, I was supposed to help one of the lecturers, Associate Professor Izaki. I had just gotten a list from the reception desk at the shared lobby. I was waiting to check off the names of students who were coming to the lecture. There was still some time before the seminar started, but the lobby was mostly empty. None of the students on the list were here yet. I was bored, but I couldn't do anything but wait. The old me never could have imagined doing anything like this, but impressing Izaki was part of my new goal in life. Victor Condria University. Yes, that was my new goal. Izaki did a lot of joint research projects with them and knew a lot of people there. The best first step to getting there my brain could come up with was being his assistant. Also, this convention was holding another seminar by Victor Condria University after the one held this summer. Of course, that interested me too. Summer. An image of her as she was then flashed through my mind. I was trying to get to Victor Condria so that I could learn about the work that Makirisu had been doing. I wanted to try to do it myself. Of course, I wasn't a genius like Kurisu. I knew there was no way I'd ever be able to do exactly what. But if I could do even 10% of it, honestly, I'm amazed that I've recovered so well. I thought that to myself and chuckled just as a voice called to me across the lobby. No clue.
Okay. Well, excuse me.
Ah. I looked up and saw a young girl approaching from the elevator hall. Like you got her. She was short and petite. Everything about her was small. I could kind of make out a few of the curves that don't appear until after puberty. So at least she wasn't in elementary school, but maybe middle school? For someone with such a cute face, she clearly didn't care about her appearance. Her hair wasn't styled and it poured down her back. Even if I could tell her clothes weren't very fashionable.
Excuse me. Where's the staff room?
This is the ATF seminar? Clearly not a place where a middle school girl belonged. You'd probably just come to the wrong place.
She's the new genius. Please don't make the middle school girl his new love interest to Steins.
It's not, don't worry.
Okay. I know that. How many times am I going to have to say this?
This is the first time you said that to me.
Well, but obviously the implication, Rentaro. And you're the fourth person I've said it to since I got here.
Irritated, she pulled a card out of her jacket. It was one of the IDs given out to invited guests. Her name and the name of her workplace were written on the front.
I'm giving a fucking seminar, you dick.
Victor Condria University, USA, Brain Science Institute. Victor Condria USA, Brain Science Institute? Yeah, I know.
I love Brain Science Institute a lot. It's a very funny. I wish they named it that.
Yeah. I looked at the card and then at her, then back at the card, then back at her, and then I looked at her again. I finally realized. Oh, so that's it. Where did you find this card? Thanks for bringing it back.
Deliberately done. I've already done that 3 times. I've done that 3 times already too.
He sighed and showed me another card. This one was a photo ID from Victor Condria University. Huh? What? It was the same ID I'd seen Kurisu holding before on another world line. The photo on the card, yeah, it was definitely her.
Yeah. Yaho?
I think so.
Maho?
He goes by Maho. This Maho's fine.
Yaho Maho. That's my name. Maho. I'll say it to you now because nobody's ever been able to read it right. Not in Japanese. Thank you. Okay, good. I feel validated.
And you're from Victor Condria University Middle School?
That's not a thing. You know that's not a thing. Stop messing around. Universities don't have middle schools, dummy.
That's true. Then you skipped a bunch of grades? Unlike in Japan, it wasn't uncommon for Americans to skip grades. Kurisu had made it to university at age 17. But still, a girl this young working in a university lab?
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Is it? You're feeling pretty shocked right now, right? Let me guess. A small child like this? I can't believe it, right? Or are you one of those? She must be able to. She must be amazing to be able to do that at her age.
Ha 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 ha. No, you got me.
Look here. Closely.
The girl, Yahoo Maho, pointed to part of the ID with her slender fingers. She was born in 1989, and it was 2010, so you're 21 years old.
Like a glandular condition. In other words, I'm an adult woman. I'm not in middle school, and of course not in elementary school or daycare either.
And then she puffed out her chest. There wasn't much to see. I could imagine her saying, "They look bigger when I'm not wearing clothes. They're huge."
Steins gay.
Yeah.
What's that look supposed to mean?
Oh, no, sorry. I apologize. I couldn't believe it. She was older than me. If Daru was here, he'd be dancing around screaming, "Legal lolly for the win."
Ugh.
Yeah.
Forgot. Yeah, it's also dark. Doesn't matter, I guess. Get the same thing all around the world, no matter where I go.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, for real though. Oh no. Yeah. Did you say something?
No, I didn't. Still, the Brain Science Institute? That's where Kurisu worked. Which means this person, might know a lot about Kurisu. I held back the impulse to start badgering her with questions. I looked at the pamphlet with the seminar schedules. Victor Condria's lecture was the last one for the day, and was clearly intended to be the biggest. Was this Maho girl going to give a lecture? Just like Karisu had done in the summer convention. No, wait, that's wrong. That never happened. Makise Karisu never gave any lectures over the summer. That happened in the Alpha World Line. In the world line I inhabited now, before the summer convention, he'd already... Are you giving a lecture today?
No, I'm here as an assistant. Oh, and translator too.
I looked at the pamphlet again and saw that the lecturer was a man named Alexis Leskinen. Alexis Leskinen. A professor...
It's Russian.
Yeah. A professor at Victor Kongye University and the chief researcher of the Brain Science Institute. The topic is the Artificial Intelligence Revolution. Huh. Yeah, that sounds interesting.
If you've got the time, I'd love for you to come and listen.
I will. Oh, the staff room, right? I led Maho over to the elevator hall and showed her where the staff room was.
I would not have remembered that that's why we started this conversation. So, good luck with that. Anyway.
I had no reason to hang around here any further. I said goodbye and was just about to turn around. Just then, the elevator opened. A woman emerged. The instant I saw her face, every hair in my body stood on end.
Oh, shit.
Hear you, Moeka. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. Calm down. This is the Beta World Line. Mayuri is alive. Moeka's not going to kill her. Our eyes met. The eyes on the other side of her glasses were as dead as ever, and it was impossible to tell what she was thinking. I frantically averted my gaze before she realized something was wrong. She tilted her head for a second, but quickly lost interest in me and turned towards Maho.
You're with the magazine, right?
I'm here about that interview. Even in this world line, Moeka still only spoke in...
Dr. Leskinen isn't here yet. It may be a minute.
Okay.
If you want, I can go over the system until he gets here.
Thank you. The two of them disappeared into the staff room. As I watched them leave, I took a deep breath. I tried to calm down, but it wasn't working. Hey, Moeka. Is it going to be you again? It was a terrible feeling, like a cold finger tracing the wounds in my heart. That night, when the terrorist threat shut down all the trains in Akihabara, that awful night when I just knew something was going to happen. You're going to do it again? Here? Or was I just imagining that? Was she just a magazine reporter now, instead of a CERN rounder? No. Even if Moeka was a rounder, we had nothing to do with CERN anymore. CERN wouldn't be watching us. Took another deep breath, grabbed some of the anxiety meds in my pocket, and swallowed them down with some mineral water. It would take 15 minutes for them to kick in. Those 15 minutes were always pretty rough. I laughed at myself a little and sat down on one of the reception desk chairs. The table was filled with leaflets, pamphlets, and other things for attendees. I don't remember how to get to my... Nope. Wrong button here. Check our messages. Oh, Korean, are things going okay with the seminar? Yeah, no problem. I see, that's great. I can't wait to see what kind of seminar it will be. Yushi wishes she could see it too. Maybe a little too loud, too hard for you to follow. You're right. Okay, I don't want to get in your way. Bye. Okay. My eyes wandered to one of the pamphlets. Nakabachi Theory and the Genealogy of Pseudoscience. This pamphlet was for Professor Izaki's seminar. Nakabachi Theory. A paper he'd announced in Russia. That paper held the key to creating a real time. On that day, July 28th, Nakabachi had stolen the paper from Kurisu, his own daughter, left with it. I knew that. Only Nakabachi and I knew that.
That's right.
I flipped through the pamphlet.
Forgot about that.
It was a brief introduction to the many forms of pseudoscience and fake scientific discoveries that had emerged since the start of the 20th century. On its own, it did make for an interesting reading. And at the end of the pamphlet, Nakabachi Theory was introduced as nothing more than another entry in that long list of fakes. The Dr. Nakabachi's time machine theory had been completely ignored by the academic world. All the glory, fame, and power he'd wanted so badly that he was willing to get rid of his own daughter, he didn't get any of it. And I'd heard rumors that after the announcement he'd been imprisoned in a Russian lab. To make it even funnier, he thought he was getting VIP treatment. For a short time, there were essays and interviews in bogus academic journals. Even there, it was obvious it had all gone to his head. The ironic thing was that Nakabachi Theory was completely correct and completely revolutionary. The Russian government was worried about it leaking, and the SVR was doing everything it could to keep it under wraps. But under the surface, there was a full-scale information war beginning over the paper. The time traveler from 2036, John Titor, had told me so, which meant it had to be true. Was World War III really going to happen? There was no point in thinking about it. Just a little more before the drugs kicked. I closed my eyes. Several hours later, the convention was going well. After Professor Izaki's seminar, most of the students from my university went home, but I killed some time and came back. I wanted to hear the Victor Condria lecture. I headed to the hall with plenty of time to spare and saw Maho coming from the staff room. He was with a very tall foreigner. Is that Alexis Leskinen? It didn't seem like an American name, but maybe he was an immigrant like Kurisu, or at least descended from one. I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but the looks on their faces were so serious that I couldn't help but listen. Since they were both speaking in English, I could barely make out any of it, but I could tell from their voices that it wasn't a pleasant chat. Wait, did I just hear the word Makise? I hated the fact that I couldn't speak English. If I had known this was going to happen, I would have taken more English lessons. Two of them walked into the waiting room for lecturing. It was located right next to the UPX theater. I put together a few fragments I was able to understand. Fire at Kurisu's house. Mrs. Makise is all right. Robbery. The police called off the investigation. Why was the FBI there? It doesn't make sense. I think that's what they were saying. Kurisu's house? Do they mean where she lived in America? Her mother should still live in America. Is that where the fire was? And then words like robbery and the investigation was called off. I really wanted to know more. I stood there and worried until it was time for the lecture to begin. With nothing else to do, I went inside the theater. I could tell earlier by looking at the size of the crowds going inside, but it was a very high-energy crowd. The atmosphere was clearly different than Izaki Center, which was mostly students there for credit. The place was nearly full with a crowd of scientists and people who wanted to learn about cutting-edge technology. Victor Condria's researchers had published a slate of papers in Science recently and had gotten a lot of media attention. Maybe that was why. Were there any empty seats? I found a single empty seat at the edge. When I looked at who was sitting next to it, I moaned. You again? Kiryu Moeka was there. She was speaking to no one, just typing endlessly into her phone. I'd once named her Shining Finger because of her incredible typing speed, and she was as fast as ever. Who was she talking to? I didn't even want to imagine. I quickly turned away and looked for another seat. Dr. Leskinen reached the podium almost at the exact instant. There was a huge wave of applause, but when they saw the tiny little girl come up next to him, applause faded into murmurs. Maho must have expected this. Her expression didn't change in the slightest as she stood next to the professor. In fact, when she took the microphone from the professor and looked around the theater, it looked like she belonged there. Ladies and gentlemen. First, Dr. Leskinen began to speak in English. When he made eye contact with Maho, she began to interpret.
Everyone, thank you for coming to my seminar. My name is Alexis Leskinen, and I'm with Mitochondria University's Brain Science Institute. My specialty is brain signal processing systems and artificial intelligence theory. And I'm his assistant, Yaho Maho.
Yeah.
God damn it. That is like a weird word to read, objectively. It's like they wrote it to be difficult to read or something. I'm also a researcher at the institute working under the professor. I'm glad to meet you all.
The audience started murmuring again. That was the same way I responded when I met her. Well, that'll happen, yeah.
Yeah, well, that'll happen. I'd like to get right into it by introducing some of the cutting-edge research we're doing. The topic we're discussing today is the artificial intelligence revolution. But I think the system we're going to demonstrate today goes beyond anything you've ever imagined.
Which I do want to say now, considering this came out in 2009, this is very topical, by the way.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Dr. Leskinen stood in front of the laptop that had been placed on the podium and started to type.
This computer is linked to one of the supercomputers in our labs. Don't turn on the projector just yet.
One of the staffers was about to display the laptop screen on the front projector. Some kind of important program must have been booting up.
The porn?
Yeah, because Yaho Maho stopped them. I'm just going to call her Maho.
Yeah, that's probably easier. Sorry, this stuff isn't complete yet. The screen's filled with programs that aren't very pretty to look at. Yep, porn. I'd rather let you see me naked than let you see these lousy programs.
So she is translating currently for Alexis, so technically he's the one saying that.
Yeah, there's some issues there. I don't know. There are any engineers in the audience today. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Some of the audience got the professor's joke and laughed.
The rest felt very uncomfortable with what he had just made the apparently young girl say. Well, while it's booting up, I'll go over the basic idea of the system.
There was another projector in the center of the stage. A diagram appeared on the screen. At the top of the diagram was a Japanese translation for the general audience. An analysis of memory-related nerve impulses in the temporal lobe.
Okay.
I knew that title well. In fact, I was sure I could never forget it. It was the title of an essay written by a 17-year-old genius and published in Science.
That's the paper that she was giving a speech on.
Yep. He had completely analyzed the nerve impulse pattern that governed human memory and used that to digitize the memories themselves in the data, which, if you recall, the way they were able to send Okabe into the past himself eventually, finally, instead of the D-mail, was he was sending his consciousness through the machine to another version of himself.
He was rewriting over the brain or, whatever. Yeah.
And she had used that to invent the time leap machine right in front of my eyes. So none of that had actually happened anymore.
It's a weird sentence.
Yeah.
None of that had happened anymore. This paper appeared in Science, so I'm sure some of you have seen it before. Brain. Sorry. I'm sure they're pointing to important things. This theory was proposed and finalized by a brilliant Japanese member of our team. human memories are stored in the cerebral cortex, particularly in the temporal lobe. They're a lot like flash memory. I don't think that's accurate. The part of the brain that reads and writes this flash memory is called the perihippocampal gyrus. Gyrus? Probably gyrus.
Dr. Leskinen pointed to the diagrams of the brain and the hippocampus on the
brain.
Right, yeah.
Sorry. The brain Sorry.
You're good.
Brain functions by sending electrical signals between cells called neurons. Memories are actually just the transmission of these electrical signals, and it's the perihippocampal gyrus that controls them. Perihippocampal. In other words, memories are created by passing electrical signals in and out of the perihippocampal gyrus. Maybe that is closer than I'm not a brain doctor.
Me either.
I don't study at the brain science So, Makise Kurisu. Yeah, I don't know enough about flash memory to really even assess the metaphor. The more I think about it. The Japanese scientist who wrote this paper. Why? It's weird that she's struggling. It's by bringing it up. I think, do they know she died, or are they trying to hide that she died? Because she doesn't die in this timeline, right? Or does
she is dead in this timeline. Yeah,
she is. Yeah. Because that's the whole thing. We're pissed and sad because we killed her.
Yeah.
Or got her killed, whatever. But Miss Makise came up with an idea. Electrical signals passing through the perihippocampal gyrus, god damn it, every time, determine signal patterns, and the cerebral cortex is...
Maho started to have trouble with her interpreting. She was getting confused. No matter how good you were with languages, interpreting for a long period of time had to be difficult. I once read an article on the internet that said even a professional can't do it for more than 20 minutes. And I don't know if that's true. I'm sure you could...
I don't have any idea. But
international conferences and live...
This feels like it's a very nebulous... Like, you would need to know a ton of very specialized vocabulary for this kind of stuff. I could imagine this being a drain in a way.
Oh, yeah.
Tradition, like conventional translation might not, but yeah. Anyway, sorry.
International conferences and live broadcasts from overseas were actually handled by a team of people switching off. Or maybe... was she having trouble because Kurisu's name?
That's what I thought.
Dr. Leskinen saw that she was having trouble and cut himself off.
I'm sorry. Miss Makise focused on the pattern of electrical signals going in and out of the perihippocampal gyrus. By analyzing the pattern, she was able to get complete data on which memory in the cerebral cortex it corresponded to. Okay, so that would be, I think, the sci-fi element.
Yes.
Up to there, I think actually the rest of this sounds pretty, like the further they got in, I was like, oh, actually, no, I mean, I don't know enough about flash memory, but this seems right. Because, I think as far as we're aware right now, we know where memory happens, but we don't know how to point to, like, oh, this is the memory of your first Christmas or whatever.
Yeah, you're about to see where they're going with this.
Suss that out. So that's kind of cool to see that, or to, zero in on where they're doing the hand waves, I guess, or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, the conceits you need to do sci-fi kind of stuff. This created the basic theory that lets us take the vague analog thing we call memories and turn it into a digital combination of electrical signals. The result was her paper, which appeared in Science. And right now, our team is using that theory to create a system to turn a person's memories into digital data, like Tron.
A wave of whispers swept across the theater.
The good one. The original. No, actually, the new one's pretty good, too. Which means... we can store and access humans' memories on a computer.
The whispers turned into a low roar.
Oh,
I see.
did they make a computer version of her?
So even after death, now you see why this is a very emotional game. So even after her death, Kurisu's research was being carried on. Of course, maybe it was natural that it would be. That was the basic theory for time leaping, which I had already proved myself, even if I could never prove it to anyone else, in the Alpha World line. My memories had been turned into data and stored on a computer. There was no doubt about that. And what Dr. Leskinen was talking about right now was the basic technology required for that process.
There are two major projects we're working on right now. One uses this system for medical applications.
The slide on the projector changed.
Great. Project is a joint effort with the psychophysiology lab. The idea is to use the parahippocampal gyrus to put memories stored on a computer back into the brain.
Incredible! Someone who looked like a grad student in the front row shouted. Dr. Leskinen didn't seem particularly put off by the interruption. Maho continued the interpretation.
More like the Matrix than Tron, I guess. Incredible, huh? I can understand how you feel. I would feel the same way in your position. It feels weird when it's a dialogue. I guess that's how translators work, though. But we feel this research is making real progress, Blair. How wonderful would it be if we could make this work? One example would be that memory problems caused by aging or Alzheimer's. This would be a form of symptomatic therapy. Yeah, you wouldn't solve the underlying issue.
No.
Though.
You just reboot them every day.
Yeah, but like, how do you know what you need to... I don't know. Yeah, that feels strange to me. You're making a new person every time they forget to turn the stove off or something? I don't know. That's strange. We could automatically back up the patient's memories as data. Even if the patient loses their memories, they could just go to their PC and reinstall them. If they remember that they can do that. We think this would be a way to stop memory loss. Again, not stop. Like, treat or treat the symptom. In the end, we hope to make memory data stored on your... Make memory data stored on your PC constantly accessible via the parahippocampal gyrus. Just we'll get a little power drill out, pop it in your temple real quick, get your little bead in there to connect in.
Wirelessly.
Electrodes deep into your brain. Yeah,
Bluetooth connection.
After we seat these electrodes into your brain, obviously, other than those wires. This would mean that if brain functionality was lost, for example, if the brain was badly damaged or atrophied. Okay, hypothetically, if you could like proxy off chunks of the brain to a computer, but Deep Space Nine had an episode. How much computer until you being person?
Now you're getting to the crux of what Steins Gate Zero is all about.
This is Vedic Bharat. Brain functionality could still be maintained. it would be like a form of external storage.
A strange feeling gripped the hall. Part of it was shock and the feeling that they were witnessing the announcement of incredible technology. Part of it was skepticism that a system like this could ever actually work.
Okay.
Part of it was revulsion at the idea of playing around with a human brain like that. An excitement born of all these things passed from one member of the crowd to another. Dr. Leskinen raised his hand to encourage questioners.
Or maybe he just waved. It looks like I need to take questions before we move on to the next project. I'll answer anything I can. Go ahead.
Many hands were raised. I could tell that there was a wide age range of people interested. Both young and old were raising their hands. Dr. Leskinen pointed to a questioner. This was the first question. Sampling would be required when digitizing analog memories. Does that mean any information would be lost? The professor nodded as he listened to the question in Japanese and began to respond in English when the speaker finished. Maybe he was able to understand Japanese, if not speak it.
To put your question another way, you're saying that when you're saving a live recording of an orchestra at a WAV file, it's impossible to record everything. That's a good question, and it's one of the biggest problems facing our research right now. If the network within the brain consisted of simply neurotransmitters turning on and off, that is, exchanging binary data, the problem would be simple. That would be the exact same thing as a computer's digital data. But we know that neurotransmitters and electrical signals form an analog network within the brain. The only way we have to deal with this problem right now is to sample at a higher rate. Continue our music example. Instead of sampling at 44.1 kilohertz, we'd sample at 48 kilohertz. Instead of 48 kilohertz, we'd use 96. Right, but if the recording's 44.1, you're not gonna help. Like you yeah, I don't know. If the original signal is formatted to be 44.1, then you still lose data.
I guess, yeah.
Never mind. Anyway, this allows us to recreate something very close to the original analog data digitally.
Little by little, the mood, yeah, very close. Key thing to pick up on. Little by little, the mood in the room was turning to disappointment. People were beginning to wonder if this was just a pretty theory that wouldn't work in reality. More questions came. All of the questioners were skeptical of the professor's theory, and many of them seemed to be outright challenging him. I started to get upset. This was Dr. Leskinen's research, but it was also Karisu's. I knew better than anyone that it worked, and the sight of so many people refusing to give it a chance infuriated me. Were these people really scientists? I tried to keep myself under control and looked back towards the podium. Was she mad? She certainly looked disappointed. Dr. Leskinen was very polite with the rude questioners, acknowledging the problems with the theory. She was very different. Her anger was starting to seep into her interpreting, too. I felt a kind of kinship with her. The question and answer session continued. From a medical standpoint, this is just reckless. It's absolutely impossible to rewrite digital data back into the brain. It's insane.
It is not ethical.
I read the essay in Science, and I have to say, I don't believe it. Especially since the lead author was a 17-year-old girl. That was the one thing I couldn't ignore.
Listen.
Objection!
No fucking shit, he did actually yell it. What?
The two people on the stage and the entire audience. Look, Hounin Kyouma may be gone, but he's not completely gone. There's still a little bit left
he's
of him in
still
there.
a goober. Yeah, this man
Oh.
will never not be a goober.
All turned towards me at once. How do you know it won't work when you haven't even tried? The world's full of technologies that people never thought would work. But they exist now because people overcame those problems. Criticism alone doesn't help anything. The whole theater went silent, but I didn't regret standing up.
You.
On the stage, Maho was staring at me. And as for Dr. Leskinen, I saw a flash of white teeth as our eyes met. Awesome! He's really something. He started to applaud.
What?
Huh? What?
Do not trust this man.
Why is he applauding? That just makes things embarrassing.
Just doesn't translate. Huh. Awesome. He's really something, the professor says.
Maho translated the professor's words for me to hear.
But a scientist must remain calm at all times. Otherwise, you get to that mad scientist
Right.
territory. You really want to watch out for that. Oh my god. Eureka! No. No. The only time when you're allowed to yell is when your experiment succeeds and you say, "We did it." I think, that's bullshit. That's all you need, he says. You should be able to celebrate whenever you learn something from a science experiment. Win or, success or failure.
I'm sorry. I lowered my head and sat down. I thought I was calm, but I guess I let my emotions get away from me.
You stood up screaming in the middle of somebody. No, you didn't.
I hadn't grown up at all in the past 6 months. If Carisi was here, she'd make fun of me again. I could feel the rest of the audience staring at me coldly. It hurt. If I could have left, I would have wanted to. But I was too interested in hearing the rest of Dr. Leskinen's talk to move.
All right, everyone. Moving on. Back to the whole chat here. But first, oh god. Patronizing ass. How about a round of applause for our brave audience member?
Oh no, please. No.
Dear God, no. I don't like identifying with Agape. Challengers like him are the ones who advance science and come up with the really amazing theories. He may be the third.
I know you questioned who's a second, right?
Well, obviously me. He may be capable of becoming the third Einstein. That's what you need to form the Einstein force, and then I believe you can use that to save the kingdom of Hyrule. By the way, of course. By the way, the second Einstein is my little assistant here. Well, technically, okay, I guess. Well, no, she's older. Never mind. We did establish that. She's 21. Stop messing around, Professor.
The audience chuckled. Yeesh.
She'd be the third. Now then, I'm going to take a break from interpreting. The next interpreter is far better than I am. This is our second project and the one we're putting most of our efforts toward.
So the first project was the medical one.
Yeah.
The second project is the one they're really interested in.
The Amadeus system.
When she finished speaking, Maho walked to the back of the stage. At Dr. Leskinen's signal, the PC screen was displayed on the projector. And then I heard a voice.
Oh, that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
So the next interpreter is much better than I am. That's all right. Get her a black turtleneck. Nice to meet you, everyone.
The murmuring got louder than before, but it felt more uncertain than surprise. On the screen, I could see a detailed 3D model of Maho, the girl who'd just been interpreting.
By the way, this model was made by the famous the DrinkWorks Studios. You've probably seen DreamWorks.
Yeah.
You've probably seen their movies.
Maho chimed in from back of the stage.
Why did you pay DreamWorks to do your rigging?
Right.
Like, man, that stuff, it's built into, like, not Photoshop, but one of the Adobe Suite programs anymore. Like, you can, this is not required. Like, that's such a basic version of the, whatever, doesn't matter. The voice was done by a Japanese company, Yamana. Oh, what's the...
Yamaha?
Yamaha? No. Is that the music company?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I'm using my voice samples.
This was CG?
I forgot that they did that, where there was like everything's a couple letters off or
yeah.
very near to.
It sure looked real to me. The professor said something in the laptop's microphone, and then the 3D model of Maho on the screen opened its mouth.
I'm Hyaho Maho. To be precise, I'm a being based on Hyaho Maho who existed on the Hyaho Maho who existed 78 hours and 22 minutes ago.
If you listened carefully, you might have been able to hear something slightly off. But it sounded far more human than any artificial voice I'd ever heard.
Well, I don't know how to replicate that. You didn't really give me a lot to work with. I've been listening to your questions. And I was wondering why the professor didn't introduce me earlier. I've thought for a while that the professor has a bit of a mean streak in him. Sorry, what?
They're talking to each other.
That right?
The Maho on the screen spoke with a slightly irritated, and the Maho by the wall nodded in agreement. Dr. Leskinen simply smiled. What was going on here? What part of this was their biggest project? The rest of the audience didn't seem to have any more of a clue than I did.
For real, friends, many of you are wondering whether it's possible to extract a human's memories as data, save them, and use them. You're wondering if that's really something we can do. So, I'll put this question to you. If not, what am I could rig this up, guys. I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't look as nice as the DreamWorks version. But the fact that you paid DreamWorks for this really concerns me. Really concerns me. It seems like you are very concerned about how good it looks. And that seems like something you wouldn't worry about if the tech worked. You could always figure that out afterward. Don't show me this. This is I could make a video that looks like it does this.
Yeah.
I am based off data that was extracted from Hyaho Maho's brain 78 hours and 23 minutes ago.
What did she just say? The professor said something else in rapid English and asked the Maho on the screen to translate it. But she, if she was the right word, hesitated and went silent. I looked at the real Maho, and she was responding exactly the same way.
Professor, is it all right if... Professor... Oh. Is it all right if I report that sexual harassment to the university?
Dr. Leskinen laughed cheerfully and responded to it. The conversation was in quick English, and over half the audience couldn't understand it. The real Maho sighed and took back the microphone.
Well, the professor, he told this Amadeus system, which is based off my memories, to answer a question. It was, yuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for real though. You absolutely don't need his permission. Just go ahead and report that. Oh, when did I first fall in love? He said any of those questions should be answerable. Oh, jeez. You don't have to translate anymore. Trying to do a robot for it, that's hard. Would you stop that? It's embarrassing. I'm not answering any questions like that.
The professor
Great.
said something else, and then Maho on the screen groaned and turned away.
I'm definitely not telling you my credit card number. See, did you at least sign a waiver, Maho? Like, was there anything here? Or did they just like, cool, thanks for all your brain thoughts. Bye-bye. And I don't even remember what kind of pajamas I was wearing a week ago.
What was this? It was so natural I couldn't tell at first, but this was something unbelievable, wasn't it? It felt very different than the typical AI. I could tell that much.
Yeah.
It wasn't answering the question it was given? And because they were embarrassing? Was it programmed to respond like that to certain questions for the purposes of this demonstration? It was possible that it all was, but that conversation wasn't programmed in advance. The rest of the crowd seemed to reach the same conclusion I did, and the whisper started to turn into a surprised murmur.
Then you have in fact done a sexual harassment. Listen, can you do something about this little troublemaker? I know what he's trying to do, but it's embarrassing.
The copy of Maho was complaining to the original. It felt like I was watching a pair of twin sisters talking.
Well, since the little troublemaker, that is Dr. Leskin, is having too much fun to explain what's going on here, I will.
Maho walked back to the
Personal
professor.
boundaries are being violated. I think everyone's already figured this out, but Amadeus is deciding on its own what it can and can't talk about, what it doesn't want to talk about. We haven't programmed any of this into her at all.
I knew it.
It's using memories we gave it to make its own autonomous decisions.
The Maho on screen suddenly took over for her.
And there's another thing, which is the exact opposite of the medical applications we discussed. The research team spends a lot of time arguing about this, but I eventually forget about unnecessary information. Or rather, I become unable to access those memories, just like all of you. That's not ideal. Like, that seems like it's a really, what purpose is that good for? You just made a person. You have not... Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like digital slavery.
Yeah. Strange, huh?
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. They're bad people. You can't say, no, it's like a person, and then be like, so we're gonna make it do your taxes for free forever. Like, what? No, wait. Can't it get pissed? For example, the color of the pajamas I wore a week ago. There's no reason I shouldn't know this, but right now I can't remember it. You didn't wear any pajamas ever. That's because this information isn't necessary to my survival. The same goes for all of you. As you can see, Amadeus's memory inputs and outputs are very similar to a human's. The results surprised us too, and we're currently researching it, but we still don't know exactly how it works, so it's just like AI.
As Maho finished up, yeah, Dr. Leskinen took the microphone back. He resumed interpreting as he continued to lecture. That's not good.
Another thing that surprised... You don't want that. Another thing that surprised us is that Amadeus is capable of deliberate lies. Hooray! We did it! By deliberate, I mean it lies of its own free will, not as the result of any programming error.
So you didn't make AI, you made AGI.
Yeah, this is just making a person. Doesn't have a body.
Yeah.
These are one method that humans use to communicate with one another. And just like a human, Amadeus can use its memories to decide if lying would be best. If so, it will lie without hesitation. Don't tell them that, Professor. Don't tell them that. Well, I don't know, somewhere in there. I can't lie without hesitation. I have a conscience, you know.
I'm so sorry, and... Dr. Leskinen cut off. He seemed to be hesitating. Maho didn't seem especially surprised by this. Maybe she knew the reason. But the moment passed, and the professor continued, as Maho translated his words like there was nothing shocking about them at all.
As we continue our research, we eventually believe that it may be possible to give Amadeus a soul, just like a living human's.
I was stunned.
Dumb.
A soul? Did one of the leading
Either already
brain
has it, or
scientists...
you couldn't give it to him.
Right. Did one of the leading brain scientists in the world really be using a word with such a vague definition?
No. In fact.
That's twice you've agreed with Akabe.
This would mean the creation of artificial intelligence in the truest sense.
The whole hall got very quiet, and it was sheer chaos for a while after that, as everyone tried to debate whether their own personal theories with Dr. Leskinen at once. It was thanks to Izuki that I was able to get to the reception held after the ATF was over. They told me there was a dress code, so I went all the way back to my parents' house to get a suit to change into. At first, all that effort paid off, as Izuki introduced me to some of the country's top researchers. Riken,
Does
JAXA,
Izuki exist? Need to hear.
IMSS, etc. Before long, got a text, hold on.
Oh, noise.
Oh, it's Daru.
That's not how text chat. That's not how phones work.
I can't believe you...
Long string of messages.
Yeah, I can't believe you get to go to a fancy party. Die in a fire, Mr. Fancy Pants. You know, you could have helped, you know. No way. Then don't complain. But I'm jealous you got to go to a party. There's lots of hot rich girls, right? Ooh, yeah. It's mostly guys, I think. Lots of older scientists. What? Okran, hang in there, man. Is that all you ever think about? Cool. Before long, Izuki ran off to suck up to some university professor, and I was left completely abandoned. My own personal target, Dr. Leskinen, was surrounded by a bunch of famous scientists. It didn't feel like a mere student would be welcome. And so all I did was stand around and eat from the buffet by the wall. I feel seen.
Yes.
To be honest, I couldn't tell if the food was any good or not. Whenever my...
It's free.
Yeah.
Poker in. That's the best flavor. Come on.
Whenever my glass got empty, a smiling waiter was always around to fill it up again, and so I found myself drinking more than I intended. My stomach was already so full it hurt. The whole place felt like it was another world. I'm really not cut out for this. At the exact same moment I spoke, I heard a girl next to me say the exact same thing.
Oh,
Surprised, I look over at her. Our eyes meet.
Oh, you.
What was a middle school girl doing here? And then a moment later, I realized it was Maho. She was wearing the exact same outfit she'd been wearing during the lecture, so I don't know why I didn't recognize her. A lab coat in a place like this? That's just what the old me would have done.
Fuck that. Not bringing a second outfit. I traveled here. Bullshit. Take your dress code and shove it. Let me see. Your...
Maho was clearly out of place. Why? Because she was still wearing her lab coat? Why are you wearing a lab coat? You're one to ask, Okabe. I couldn't help but ask.
Because I'm a scientist? I was sure I brought some real clothes.
She was sure she had, but she hadn't. And that was why she was standing in the corner, trying not to attract attention.
You're the guy who was at the desk this afternoon.
I'm Okabe Rintaro. I'm a student at Tokyo Denki University in Professor Isuke's class. I handed her one of the business cards that I had thrown together after Izaki told me I needed them. She grabbed me one of her own out of her stack and carelessly put them in my hands.
It's fine. No need to be so worried.
That was a huge help.
Oh, maybe that's just like a thing that you do
I guess, yeah.
in Japan. Like you have cards made. I don't know. Maybe that's normal. So people know how to spell your name too.
Yeah.
'Cause that is like, there's going to be a dozen different ways to produce the sound.
Yeah,
Anyway.
makes sense.
My name's pretty rare, isn't it?
Huh?
Weird
Oh,
thing to say.
yeah. You said
Oh, they just handed cards to each other.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Have each other's names on it. Not that weird.
You said nobody could read it? I looked at the card and saw that the pronunciation of her name was written in unusually large letters. That was probably because of how people kept screwing it up.
It's a common name in Okinawa, though.
You're from Okinawa.
See. My great-grandmother and great-grandfather were immigrants. I was born and raised in America.
Half. No, you don't look half Japanese. Quarter Japanese?
Yeesh. Nope. My grandpa, grandma, mom, and dad were all Japanese. DNA is purely Japanese.
Huh. Awkward silence, and then the conversation stopped. I'm a terrible conversationalist, honestly. The old me would have gone full chuny and started ranting about conspiracies and magic powers, whether the other person cared or not, but you can't really call that a conversation. I've matured. I had no idea what to say to somebody
At people.
Yeah. I had no idea what to say to somebody I've never met before. I'd been working at becoming a real adult, even buying and studying.
How long have you been studying though? You know, like, blah, blah, blah. Come on, basic shit.
Even buying and studying men's magazines, but none of it really helped. Without anything to talk about, I looked over to Dr. Leskinen. He seemed to be giving a lecture on neurons to a bunch of scientists.
You guys have common interests.
Yeah. I'm sorry about today.
Oh, sorry for what?
Oh, for interrupting your lecture.
Oh, that. Don't worry about it. If you hadn't spoken up, I probably would have. I can't stand people like that.
You sure that would have been a good idea? You heard what the professor said. A scientist should remain calm at all times.
That's stupid. I'm not speaking as a scientist right now, so it's fine.
It must
I was
have-
a translator, dingus. Translators don't have to.
Right.
Home, apparently.
It must have really ticked her off because she grabbed a cocktail from a passing waiter and gulped it down. Her cheeks turned a pretty shade of pink for an instant, but no longer. She might have had a high alcohol tolerance.
but you're right, really. Sorry. Criticisms like that, they aren't very nice, but they're true. Part of our research still has a long way to go.
Really?
Apparently, you're claiming it's done. You claimed you did it. I mean, you can't put it back in the brain, maybe, but you did the really hard part. Sorry. There are a lot of problems we still have to deal with, more than we discussed at the lecture. Here's an example. We can write memory back into the brain, but if the brain can't use it, then it's useless. Memories are there, but you can't get them. It's basically the same as amnesia.
As Maho spoke, I remembered. I remembered all the lectures and theories that Karisu had given me when she was making the time leap machine. If I remember right, when people try to access their memories, the signal goes from the frontal lobe to the temporal lobe, right?
Yup. Top-down memory search signals.
So then... And then I started to talk, remembering what Karisu had told me about her theories as I went. When I used specialized terminologies whose meanings I barely remembered, Maho would tell me what they were. And so finally, in the process of writing these memories back to the temporal lobe, if you send the pseudo pulse you copied along with them to the frontal lobe, the memory search signal will function properly. I think.
You have to reverse the polarity on the confabulator. Did you figure that out for yourself?
What? No. Maho looked back at the business card I'd given her.
Who are you again?
Right.
Your major isn't brain science, so someone told you this? Or did you read it in a paper? Because, like, I've been studying, and I think you just told me something. No, that's impossible. She wouldn't have put it into a paper yet.
Did I say something wrong?
No, it's too right. No, that's not it. One of our researchers at the lab said the exact same thing. None of the other staff believed her, but she said she was sure she could prove it. In the end, she left us before she got it to the test stage.
That's... Did I tell her? Did I tell her about me and Karisu? In this world line, there's almost no connection between me and Karisu. Like, we never even met.
What is it? I think you could probably be like, oh, well, so it's weird, but timeline shit.
I made up my mind. If I wanted to follow my dreams, I needed to act. Actually, it was Karisu who told me about this theory.
In another life. What did you just say?
Makise Karisu told me about it.
Karisu told you? When? Why?
When she was over here as an exchange student. We became friends, and she talked to me about this. Of course, that was a lie. Karisu and I became friends in the Alpha World line, not this one. But a small lie like this was probably okay.
Not if she knows her. I see. So, Karisu. Thank you. I mean it.
Her words surprised me. That was the one thing I didn't expect to hear. For what?
For being her friend. She came to Japan all alone. I mean, I'm sure she would have been bored by studying all by herself.
All we ever did was fight, though.
That sounds like her. She never gave in, did she?
Ever. She argued for hours. Jesus.
Said Rintaro.
Yeah. She'd tell me all the time.
Oh, sorry.
She'd tell me all the time about how she was going to give me a lobotomy and rip out my frontal lobe.
What? She wouldn't. I could see Karisu saying that.
Right? You need to discipline your researchers better. Jesus.
I'll admit that much. Sorry.
Huh? She smiled, or so I thought, and all of a sudden she started to cry. What's wrong? I didn't have any better ideas, so I grabbed my handkerchief.
Huh?
She didn't seem to know why she was crying herself, and neither did I. Had I said something during a conversation that set her off? Are you okay?
I'm fine. Sorry.
She didn't take my handkerchief. Instead, she took a tissue out of her pocket and wiped her eye. This is Leskinen. My brave third Einstein. What? I turned around and saw Dr. Leskinen smiling and quickly striding towards me. He grabbed my hand as he got closer. The handshake was incredibly forceful, and his hands were as big as a bear's paws. No, not just his hands. Standing in front of me, he looked even bigger than he had during the lecture. I'm pretty tall, but he was at least a head taller than me. Professor, Uh-oh. It was all so sudden that I couldn't even think of an introduction. And wait, did he just speak in Japanese? Still, I don't approve of you making my assistant cry. Oh no, this is...
No, Professor. It wasn't his fault. He's got nothing to do with it.
Maho and I both denied it as much as we could, but I didn't know why Maho was crying, so I couldn't come up with any excuses. I just started to panic even more. So basically,
So, man, I don't know. She just started crying. I had it up. Karisu. I was talking with him about Karisu, and I just started crying.
Korisu? You're a friend of Korisu's? Yes.
This is Okabe Rintaro. He's a student.
Maho introduced me. Dr. Leskinen had a gentle expression on his face as he gave me a slow hug. I felt like I was going to suffocate in his massive arms. Somehow, I could tell that it was his way of remembering Karisu. I see. If that's the case, then Maho.
Yes.
Why not introduce her to Mr. Okabe?
You can't mean Amadeus.
It was good luck that brought him to us here, wasn't it? While we're in Japan, you can have him be a tester.
Are you serious? You can't just let an outsider.
If he's a friend of Korisu's, there's no outsider, correct?
But, sir...
What were they talking about? I had no idea, but this was my chance to build a relationship with Dr. Leskinen. I didn't want to blow it. I'd love to help. Nice! He patted me on the shoulders and smiled. It was an innocent smile, like a child's. Okay then, ask Maho for the details. Thanks! Another scientist was calling him, so he wandered away. Maho was shaking her head in disbelief. What's he talking about? Meeting Amadeus? Being a tester?
The demonstration of Amadeus we did during the convention used my memories, but Amadeus also has another researcher's memory saved as data. Dun dun dun.
Another researcher's memory. What did that mean? When I finally figured it out from Dr. Leskinen and Maho's conversation, my heart started pounding. You can't mean her.
Yeah. That's not good. You don't want that. Makise Kurisu's memories are stored in Amadeus. They're 8 months old, though.
So right before she came to Japan.
Ah, of course they are. They would have to be.
Yeah. Several days passed after the ATF party. 10 minutes from Ikebukuro by the express train. And then 10 minutes by bus from a station called Wako City in Saitama. The office I was looking for was on the second floor of a building right next to Riken. Global Brain Science Comprehensive Research Organization Japanese Office Prep Room. That was what the plate on the door said. To get in, you needed 3 types of special keys plus a security card. What is this place?
The plan is for brain scientists from all around the world to work together to make a new organization. Our lab is leading the way.
He led me inside. Oh, hold on. 1 second, Maho. I got a text.
I gotta take this.
The mysterious Sukatos have appeared, last appeared in Akihabara. Yeah. What? You haven't heard of the ancient urban legends of Akihabara? Yeah? I know about a few of them, but the Suketos are new to me. If a group of 3 people sits back in the back seat of a certain maid cafe, they appear. Or so they say. Yeah. Danger! 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 No one ever knew which maid cafe it was until now, yeah? It's May Queen, yeah? Danger! Danger! It's everything, okay?
I do not like this.
Everything's fine, yeah? They just joined your game in the middle of a raid and steal all the mobs, yeah? Hang on a second. Danger. The office must have been newly rented. Most of the desks were still empty, showing no signs of ever having been used.
Why is Ferris friendly? Why did that happen still?
They were acquainted before all the things went down because she worked with Mayushi at the maid cafe.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Okay, that happened. You're right.
There wasn't even a whiteboard, which made the room look even more empty. There wasn't a lot of natural light. Maybe the windows were on the north side? The only illumination was from an overhead fluorescent light. The room felt very cold.
This is just the prep room.
No one was sitting at any of the desks, but 2 of them had stuff on them. One of them was a mess filled with notes, calculators, coffee cups, and supplement bottles. That was the one Maho sat down at, which meant the one that was neatly organized must belong to Dr. Leskinen, right? Where's the professor?
Yes. Off today.
Well, it was Sunday. Are you off today too?
Yeah, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to sleep past noon.
That's true. When I'd gone to pick her up from her hotel in Wako City, she'd come out of the room half asleep. This was the day that I was to meet Amadeus Kurisu. Maho had gone over the basics of being a tester on the way here. Essentially, Amadeus needed sample data for conversations, and they were going to give me an environment where I could talk to it at any time, 24 hours a day. She didn't give me any details beyond that, though. So I'll be able to talk to Amadeus Kurisu 24 hours a day, huh? Is Kurisu's Amadeus here?
Yeah.
Maho nodded and gave me a glance.
You just said she, didn't you?
Huh? Yeah?
You two are a lot closer than I thought, weren't you?
Maybe my silence was an answer itself. Oh, hold on, Maho.
Sorry.
Okabe-san, may I have a moment of your time? Not today. I see. Sorry to bother you.
Damn!
Sorry. We can talk about it later. Counting on you. Maho's response was uncharacteristically hesitant.
An insane thing to type back.
Yeah.
No. Just no. Can I have a moment of your time? Fuck off. Then maybe you shouldn't meet her after all.
Why?
This is not right. The closer you are to someone, the crueler that system is.
I'm okay.
Fine. I won't bring it up again, but just remember one thing. That ain't her.
Right.
The memories are from March, the last time Karisu did an update. So anything you say about what happened after March, for example, when she was in Japan, she won't remember.
That's right.
And the professor and I have run her program a lot of times between March and today. Each time the Amadeus Karisu has created the memories the original never had. Stories we've told her, information she's found on the internet, new people she's talked to, things like that. In other words, what you're about to meet isn't Mikise Karisu, your friend. That ain't her. It's one of the problems with the system. It causes a lot of confusion with the people on this side. I mean, us humans. Because you'll think you're talking to the real Karisu.
So don't get reality and fantasy mixed up, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Imagine psychosis induced by some sort of virtual assistant. What a weird thought. Our brains have trouble keeping up with the fact that our memories aren't shared with them.
Memories that aren't shared? Now there's a feeling I knew well. Reading Steiner. It was a power only I possessed. Made my memories different than those of the people around me. Take me to her. Maho gave me a slight nod. Up. He led me to the back of the room. There was a booth separated by a thick partition. To get inside the booth, you needed a different card key than the one used to get in the room, as well as a security code. You're pretty strict about security.
Industrial spies are our biggest threat these days.
Enter the security code, unlock the door.
Go inside.
The room was about 2.5 meters per side. One end was a white desk, and above it was a PC with a built-in 30-inch screen monitor.
Just behind me.
There was a small sofa that let you sit behind the user and see what was happening on the screen. Sat there. Maho powered on the PC and began to type. A second later, the words Amadeus. Yeah. Second later, the words
Amadeus. Gonna kill it.
The words Amadeus system appeared on screen, so you know about Amadeus and Salieri. I saw her.
The first time I went out with a girl, we made out in the catwalk while the play Amadeus was going on.
I saw her put the ID in. Salieri. Salieri and Amadeus, huh? Was there some meaning to that? Come to think of it, in the famous movie Amadeus, there was a character who was spiteful and jealous of Mozart's incredible talents, but who, in the bottom of his heart, admired him more than anyone else. That character's name was Salieri.
Don't look at the password.
Maho moved her body to hide her hands. I looked away. He finished logging onto the system, and a simple bare command prompt appeared on screen.
Roar. Are you ready?
Yeah. Do it. Maho entered several commands at the prompt.
Sorry, I can't show you this.
Well, I wouldn't be able to make any sense of it anyways.
A Logitech. It's like a extant webcam.
Yeah.
Still, you know how it is.
She turned off the monitor. Then she spun around to face me. I suddenly realized I was clenching my fists. How long have I been doing that? My hands were sweaty. Knees weak on spaghetti. There was a red spot at the base of my thumb where my nails had dug in. Was I more nervous than I realized?
What is it?
Oh, just I'm starting to get a little scared.
There's still time. You can just leave now.
You're pretty mean.
Really? I'm worried about you.
Then act like it. Seriously, you, Kurisu, you experiment-loving girls. For a second, the old joke in me was about to come back. I quickly changed the subject. People who spend all their time doing experiments can be so rude.
That's a clear case of slander. I can sue you for defamation if I want. Yeah, and what are the damages?
Stop. You're scaring me.
I know a good lawyer. Want me to introduce you?
How about you stop suing me first?
I mean, I'll introduce you by having them serve you. You're not. Keep up. Come on, Rentaro. If you want to talk about a settlement, well, you're going to need a lot of cash.
I'll buy you a Dr. P later. Uh-huh.
You're so cheap.
I heard a small sound from the back of her throat. I guess she was laughing? Normally I'd find that irritating, but strangely coming from the girl in front of me. No, she was a grown woman, actually. I didn't. Maho was very strong-willed.
Reminding you, this was an excuse for us to draw her uncomfortably young, but don't worry.
Maho
It's
was very strong-willed. The prickliness and short temper unique to scientists. She always seemed to be a little upset about something. But maybe she wasn't that bad. Oh, I see. She, Maho, she's a lot like Kurisu. When I first met Kurisu, she was like that. Arrogant, rude, never willing to change her mind, stubborn, hard-headed, and always ready to confront you with raised eyebrows whenever you said something she didn't like. I truly thought I'd never seen a more unlikable woman. But, despite my first impression, on the inside, she turned out to be a fragile, easily hurt, and so kind, and so lovable. Do you want to be Amadeus Kurisu, or should I?
Amadeus
Kurisu.
If you're in Taru, I probably should, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
I guess so, yeah. Talking a lot.
But I don't remember who did what as far as this is concerned.
Originally it was Ari, so.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I forgot she was in for most of those, if not all of them, actually. What's so funny, Senpai?
I suddenly heard a girl's voice from the speaker. Oh, I found myself jumping off the sofa. I knew this voice. I couldn't forget it. I could never. Maho turned on the monitor. The girl I'd never forgotten about appeared on the screen. Maybe it was based off her appearance at the brain science lab because she was wearing a white lab coat. The PC's camera turned toward me on its own.
Who is this?
Maho was introducing me, but I didn't hear anything she was saying. I simply stared, entranced. I wanted to reach out my hands. I wanted to touch her. She was right there.
Kabe Rintaro-san, hello. I'm Makise Kurisu. Oh, whoops, whatever. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And now we get the intro.
Ah. I guess that's setting the premise.
Yeah.
Basically. All right. Okay. It's so weird, the logos that include
Yeah.
a paragraph of text. I just
Closed epigraph. You could be the psychologist.
Sure. Yeah, all right, Okabe-san. Try to relax. My voice is a bridge guiding you down into the past. I don't think this guy would be great for hypnotherapy. You're going down and down and down. And then you see a gentle colored light.
I was dreaming. Daydream. Daydream. I fell asleep beneath the flower. I was aware that I was lying on a big sofa, undergoing counseling. I tried my best to stay calm and imagine what the psychologist was telling me.
What color is the light?
Red.
Red? I see. The person you care about is standing in the light. Are they your family?
No.
Then your friend? Or perhaps lover?
Lover. No. No, not my lover. Not even my friend.
Then what are they?
He and I are. Memories came flooding back into my mind like a geyser.
Could you come with me for a moment?
Eek!
Exactly.
Tina Murray is not needed.
Tell me what happened. I know you use a time leap machine. Save Mayuri. Go to the Beta World Line, the world where Mayuri doesn't die. Not just for your sake, but for mine as well. Will you remember me? Hey. don't want to die.
Ah!
You'll come, Sean.
I stabbed her. That's not something you should shout out at the psychologist's office.
Yeah, here's the thing. I have an obligation to report that kind of thing. Okay.
It was me. It was me.
Yeah, listen to me. I'm gonna pat you on the shoulders, and when I do, you'll be fully awake. Yeah, 3, 2, 1, now. There was no counting mentioned.
There was a loud sound, and then I felt an impact on my shoulder. Risu's suffering face disappeared instantly, and I could feel my consciousness awakening.
Oh, you did a murder, huh?
Not the first one to come through here.
Let me tell you.
I stood up off the sofa. I felt dizzy and almost fell over.
Are you all right? Yeah, rest a minute. I'll bring you a towel right now.
The psychologist left the room, probably to go call the authorities.
Right.
I realized I was soaked in sweat. The air conditioner was working, so I couldn't tell it wasn't from heat. Oh, I could tell. It was the first time I tried hypnotherapy at a mental health clinic. My body felt strangely heavy. When I got outside, it was night. It was almost December. The wind was cold. How was it, Okarin? Mayuri asked me gently. Mayuri was a high school student and a childhood friend. Come with me to counseling today. I told her I didn't need her to, but she'd left school early to come. All I ever did was make her worry. Around 3 months ago, my one obsession had been saving her. To me, she'd always been someone I had to protect, and now she was worried about me. Oh, hold on, Mary. Got a sec, Uncle Okarin? But I refuse. You sure?
Sorry, what?
If you're wondering about whether to hit Sampo or Go-Go Curry for dinner, I can help you with that. Anything more involved? No. Those aren't the only places I eat. Forget it. I'll handle it myself. You can talk to me about it another time. Thanks in advance. Oh, I see we have Amadeus on our phone now.
How do they get all these emotes? Who's doing the one with the artwork?
Don't know. It was only because of Mayuri's recommendation that I tried counseling.
Like, what if you accidentally send the "but I refuse" emote to like fucking, Maho or something? Oh no, that's not weird, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't work on the Moeka one.
They said it's not that bad. I told her a small lie to make her feel better. In actuality,
I had to run out of there. That he was talking about bringing me up on murder charges or something. I don't know.
In actuality, they told me I'd suffered serious trauma. They stopped the hypnotherapy and given me a course of counseling and drugs. Now they wanted to wait to see the results. Basically, they decided there was nothing to do but treat my symptoms and wait for it to heal naturally. I couldn't tell if what Maho had shown me yesterday was having an effect. I'm sure it was. I underwent treatment without telling the psychologist about the time machine or the world lines. Yeah, you probably shouldn't bring that up. Or most of the things that had happened.
But it's also a waste of time to go to therapy if you're planning to lie.
Yeah.
Like,
or maybe there was no way for them to make a proper diagnosis. In any event, I decided not to think too much about the results. Hey, Mayuri, you haven't eaten yet, right? Wanna go get some food? I'll treat you. Oh, we can go to Akihabara then. Luka-kun and Ferris Chan said they haven't seen you in forever. They want to meet up. Akihabara, huh? The clinic was within walking distance of my house. Akihabara was much farther away, but even so, I couldn't turn down Mayuri's request. Until the events of this summer, I'd gone there almost every day. In fact, I'd practically lived there. Lately, I only went 3 times a week, at the absolute most. And then only to go shopping on the way home from school. We went out to the plaza in front of the station. Just like in Ikebukuro, even though it was only a month until Christmas, there you go, there was barely any decorations. I was sure the whole place would be covered in them the minute it was December 1st. Eventually, I was sure to see maids in Santa outfits. Maids and Santa outfits.
Are
Passing
they
out
Santa outfits still?
Damn.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Sorry.
Passing out flyers in Akihabara, huh?
It's
Akihabara.
Like, is it an incline when you're walking down it kind of question? It doesn't really matter.
Akihabara could really be weird. Oh, it's Ferris, Shane, and Luka-kun. Well, we know who Ferris is.
Yeah.
Actually, you were both of these.
Oh, was I?
I
Shit.
I could take one of them if you want.
I just don't remember. Voices is all. Yeah. Kyouma.
Want me to take it? Or you got it?
You got two already.
Okay.
Okabe-san, Mayuri-chan.
Ferris and Luca must have been waiting. They ran over as soon as they saw us.
I missed you, Nya.
Ferris Nyan Nyan jumped at me without the slightest hesitation. She was a maid, and Ferris wasn't even her real name. I knew her real name, but if I didn't call her Ferris at all times, even when she wasn't working, she'd get mad at me. She was wearing the same outfit she always wore, her work clothes from her job at the maid cafe, May Queen plus Neon Squared. Was May Queen going to switch to Santa outfit soon? Stop it. Everybody's looking at us. I tried to pull Ferris off me, but it wasn't working. Maybe I should just steal the cat ears off her head.
Who cares, Nya? All that matters right now is Ferris and Kyouma.
I care, and stop calling me Kyouma.
Nyan, why?
I have consigned that name to my dark past. Alright, dude.
Clearly done with the Geneva shit. Yeah.
Ferris looked upset, but I decided to ignore her. Yoyin Kyouma was part of a past I'd sealed away. I decided to pretend he never existed. He had meddled with the forbidden invention called the Time Machine, and as a result, the systems that ruled the world had punished him. He'd dashed the hopes of many, lost the life of someone he cared for, and his heart had suffered grievous wounds. He must never be awakened again. I didn't need him anymore.
Then what should I call you, Nya?
Well, Okabe or something. I think Okarin's a cute name, don't you, Ferris-chan? By the way, Ferris was what Mayuri called Ferris. They sound exactly identical, but Mayushi was fairly confident that hers was an E and not an A. She claimed it was easier to pronounce, or something like that.
Faris?
Maybe.
They want Faris?
I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out. Huh.
Must
I
be.
don't know. Yeah. Or something. Well, if you say so, Miyushi. It doesn't sound right, though.
She looked unsatisfied, but she backed away. Lukaku, it's been a while.
Yes.
Lukaku smiled happily. He always looks as beautiful as a pretty girl. But he's a guy. In case you forgot this joke, he's a guy. He was a classmate of Mayuri and could often be seen helping at the Yanabayashi shrine where his family lived. I probably shouldn't call him Lukaku. Just like I told Ferris not to call me Kyouma. He had his own name, Harushibara Luka. But calling Lukaku Luka after all this time, well, that would be really embarrassing.
Feels like a very long time. I sometimes go down to the lab, but you haven't been there much, have you?
No, I haven't. I've been busy with school, had to get ready for ATF too, so even after all that was done, I'd been busy with Maho and Leskinen, and then Amadeus. I hadn't had a chance to rest. But I avoided mentioning that to them. Oh, and I'm in a club now?
Joined a club? What kind of club? Yeah. UFOs? UMAs?
What are UMAs?
Man, haircut?
Oh.
No.
Oh no, wrong button. Good thing.
The skip button.
Good thing I just quick saved. Where's my quick save? Shit. Shit. Quick load. There we go. There it is. All right. So don't hit triangle. Triangle is the skip button. Nope, that's the skip button. That wasn't triangle at all. Nope, triangle isn't skip button. Okay, 2 buttons are skip buttons. Good to know. That's the button I'm looking for. All right. UMAs. Or was it UMAs you said?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's in here. UMA. Unidentified mysterious animal? Cryptid. Okay.
What kind of club? Yeah.
Who do you guys think I am? I guess I hadn't told them
You.
then. Mayuri, I'm pretty sure I told her. As the two of them looked at me with wide eyes, I cracked a knowing smile and puffed out my chest. The tennis club.
Okay. What?
The people around us all turned to stare at Ferris and Luca.
Why the tennis club? Yeah. Okabe-san, have you ever played tennis?
Of course not. I may not look it, but I'm terrible at sports. I'm confident I lose to Mayuri at distance running.
Is she good at it, or do you just really say? I don't understand. Is that a shot at Mayuri? Because fuck you. Then why, Dion?
Well, it's a long story, but the associate professor who's my teacher at school and is the tennis club advisor, and they asked me to join.
It's not long. That's not long at all. Yeah.
Well, I'm not done yet. That teacher's done a lot for me, so I decided to stop by.
So 2 sentences, still not long.
And it turns out I have a talent for tennis. Despite the fact that I'm a beginner, I beat every single one of them.
Okay, that's
Well,
almost a start.
Amazing, huh?
And then you found $5? You really are amazing, Okabe-san.
If I had known, I would have been a pro tennis player. You could win
Late.
Wimbledon. What's wrong, Ferris? Do you have a headache?
I'm not even sure where to begin. That's the most obvious ploy to get new members that I've ever heard, yeah? Wow, that is genius.
Don't say that. I had kind of noticed, but I'm trying to avoid thinking about it. But they're all really good people.
They're not that good. They just lied to you. They all coordinated to deceive you. So you've been busy practicing with your club then?
Oh, no, I barely go.
I just don't like you guys very much.
I'm trying to forget my dark past, guys.
Then just what are you doing? Yeah.
You know, matchmaking parties, stuff like that.
She's not putting it in on every single one. Like she used to. What?
Their shouts filled the whole streets, and once again, people turned around us to stare. Not that surprising, is it? I'm a normal college kid. Oh, alarm.
Are you?
Don't know what that was.
That's true. I'm sorry. But
Luca was fidgeting like he wanted to say something.
how could you go after other women when you've got your beautiful Ferris? It's unforgivable, yeah.
Don't get the wrong idea, okay? I'm not really interested in girls. In fact, I went along with the rest of the club, but there really wasn't any place for a wannabe normie like myself. There was no way I could keep up with their conversations at the, well, the normal normies had. While the other men and women were having fun, I'd just kind of sit there. A matchmaking party was a challenge far beyond my capabilities. I wasn't going to tell Ferris and Luca that, though.
Aw, that's so nice. Mayushi wants to go to a matchmaking party with Okarin, too.
What? Mayuri wanted to do what? Is she old enough to be interested in that sort of thing?
That's when everyone gets together and has a fun party, right?
Evidently not.
Well, it's not wrong, but the nuance is a little different, yeah.
We can hold it at the lab. Of course, Luca-kun and Ferris-chan will come. Oh, and Daru-kun and Nei-chan and Suzy-san. Oh!
Mayuri turned to me with a guilty look. Suza-san, huh? Amane Suzaha, also known as John Titor, a time traveler from the year 2036, a true warrior who was still fighting even as I was trying my best to give up. I'd barely seen her since the summer. I was avoiding her. Part of the reason I stopped going to the lab was that she spent all her time there now. Until a month ago or so, just hearing Suzaha's name was enough to cause flashbacks, and it was all I could do to endure them. After 3 months, I could finally stand to hear her name, but I didn't think I could keep it together if I met her in person. Of course, it wasn't her fault, and I wasn't blaming her, so I didn't want her to blame me. She'd never come out and said it, but when she looked at me with that razor-sharp glint in her eyes, I felt something like guilt.
Everyone?
Seems like every time Luca comes on screen, it does that. Weird. Or someone disappears.
Mayushi's been planning an operation with Daru-kun.
An operation?
It sounded like something the old me would have done.
Yeah? What kind of operation? Yeah?
Operation Make Suza-san Smile.
Huh? Why was Mary talking about this out of the blue? No, maybe it wasn't out of the blue. She might have been thinking about it for a long time. So I decided to respond as cheerfully as I could. Tell me about it, Mary.
Oh. Okay. So Mayushi thinks that Suza-san's normally kind of scary, but she's actually a really nice person. Sometimes when I'm in the lab, I'll start to fall asleep on the sofa, and when I wake up, there'll be a blanket over me. When I ask Suza-san about it, she says she has no idea, but...
Oh, I had a similar experience. My dad once asked me to go shopping for him, and I was having trouble on the way back because I had to carry so much. And then Amane-san came by, and without saying anything, she took some of the bags from me and carried them.
Huh, I had no idea.
He said it wasn't a big deal, so I shouldn't tell anybody. Oh, I guess I just did.
I see. In the Alpha World line, she was a cheerful girl who always smiled at everyone and who loved to go mountain biking. But in this world line, she wasn't the type who smiled a lot. This is partially due to the way she'd grown up. I heard about it third hand from Daru, but because of the universal conscription program that started after World War III broke out, she'd been forced to undergo military training ever since she was in middle school. And after that, she'd joined up with the anti-government forces and gotten caught in a terrible struggle. After that, he said, she never really smiled.
So, I want Suza-san to really smile.
I see.
So, what's your plan? Yeah?
A Christmas party!
Oh, someone disappears. Yep. Christmas party?
A Christmas party?
We all spoke in unison.
It's almost Christmas, right? And Suza-san said she's never been to a Christmas party. So Mayushi wants to give her one as a present.
Paris and Luca nodded at almost the exact same time.
I'm in, yeah. Me too.
Thanks. Okarin, will you come too?
Huh? Well,
You don't want to?
not that. It's just, I don't think Suzuha really would want me there. Do you? I was never going back to the past. Still couldn't forget the look on Suzuha's face when I told her that. It was an expression filled with anger and despair. She must have felt like her last, most desperate hope was crumbling away right in front of her eyes. The words she said to me then were still sharp thorns lodged in my heart. Suzuha doesn't like me, you know?
She doesn't think so. I really think she probably regrets the fact that she got mad at you. I think she just can't say it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sure of it.
I couldn't turn her down after Mayuri said that. Fine, I'll think about it.
Okay.
Hey, okay, fucking this. No, I actually have to accept the error. Huh.
By the way, Okabe-san.
There was a bit of hesitation in Luca's voice.
How did the doctor's appointment go?
Evidently, Luca had heard about my counseling. Maybe he wanted to see me because he was worried about how it went? Guess I'm making Lukako and Ferris worry too. In this world line, they hadn't joined the lab, but even so, they were still dear friends. I'd never tried hypnotherapy before. It was interesting. I never thought it would work on me, so that was a big surprise.
It worked?
Perfectly.
Huh. I bet Luca Nyan wouldn't last a second. That's weird.
Yeah, that is weird. I'll get it figured out before we come back to this.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I'm sure. Luca would believe anything you told him. Anyway, there was no point in standing around forever. I was getting hungry, and it was time to find some place to eat. Hey, guys, what do you want to eat? My treat. We decided to head towards Yodobashi. There was a lot of restaurants there, so it was perfect. Maybe it's just a scene.
Yeah, it is. Because it hasn't been doing it
Yeah.
before this. Way to go, Kyouma. I mean, Okarin. You're the best, yeah. Thank you.
What should I eat? Maybe chicken?
Juicy chicken?
Juicy chicken number one.
That's all Mayushi ever eats, yeah.
I walked behind the three of them, and I thought to myself, what would it be like if Karisu were here? Well, good. Find out. I won't let me call Mama. Wait, can I? Not yet. I tried my hardest for the past few months not to think about her, but was it because of my experience yesterday that I did anyway? The expressions and little mannerisms I'd seen yesterday. The voice, the way she walked. Remembered my conversation with her.
Akabe Rintaro-san, hello. I'm Akise Karisu. It's a pleasure to meet you.
I couldn't respond at all. Something felt slightly off about the way Karisu moved on this. But it was really slight. I'd get used to it soon. More importantly, that voice and the way she spoke were exactly like real Karisu. I almost cried. It was all I could do to stop from breaking down.
Senpai, it's not in the middle of the night, is it?
The camera on the PC switched from me to Maho.
No. Oh, whoops. No, it isn't. Why? I was wondering if the two of you were sleeping.
Are you talking about the fact that I didn't respond to her introduction?
I was asleep until just a bit ago, but now I'm 100% awake. I see you're lazy as ever, huh? Don't be rude. Anyway, can I ask a question? Sure, what's up? What's your relationship to Okabe Rintaro-san here? He's a student who participated in the last ATF seminar. Seemed really interested in the research, so I brought him here.
Maho decided not to tell Amadeus that I was a friend of Kurisu's guide. Why, I wonder? Did she not want Amadeus to find out? Or was I supposed to tell her myself?
He must be pretty impressive if you're saying that.
The Kurisu on the screen turned to me and smiled. Calm down.
So, Okabe-san, what's your major? Brain science, I assume?
Words got stuck in my throat. I said calm down. You know this is just a program. Her words, her appearance, even the conversation she's having with you right now, they're all artificial. But even though I knew that, I still couldn't speak. I had no idea what to say. More than that, the words, "It's a pleasure to meet you," hit me harder than I thought they would. This wasn't the Kurisu I'd spent those weeks with. Maho had told me this ahead of time, and I thought I understood it, but hearing it for myself hurt more than I imagined. I regretted not taking my anxiety meds, but it was too late now. My heart rate soared and my breathing became irregular. My head was spinning and the corner of my vision was beginning to dim. At some point, my lips had gone totally dry.
Is something wrong, Okabe-san?
Kurisu sounded worried. That voice software must have been pretty good. It could handle nuances like that.
His major isn't brain science. But he's very interested in our research. Is he? Dr. Leskin likes him too. At some point, I plan to make him my assistant. Oh, how the worm turns.
What? My head snapped up in surprise at Maho's bizarre statement. Me, Maho's assistant? Then I'd go to Victor Condrey University.
Oh, you don't like the idea?
Not whether I like it or not.
Well, it was a joke anyway.
Joke?
You take it seriously. Don't. No.
I
can't just do
I
this.
did not. I wasn't going to tell her that I almost did.
She did. It was serious. She was manipulating. Yeah, see? Because it's not. This is now a serious suggestion that she's bringing forward. Like, no, it was always a serious suggestion. I see. But if you study really hard, it might not be a joke after all.
Even if it wasn't, I'd rather be Dr. Leskinen's assistant. This is my way of getting back at her.
You got nerd. It's harder to be his assistant than you might think. He's really a big kid.
As she spoke, she quietly came over next to me and tapped me on the arm a few times. I see. That was it. He was making a joke to try and calm me down. Sorry.
What are you talking about?
I didn't think subtlety was her thing.
Maybe she's just conversing and you're trying to read into it weird. And it's not like that. Senpai, excuse me.
Kurisu beckoned to Maho from within the screen in a very human manner.
What is it? Come a little closer toward the speaker.
Maho moved her ear close to the speaker. I was just
my God.
thinking about how weird it was when
Girls talk about you when you're not present. Like you're not present. And they look over and huh?
Maho suddenly turned bright red as she shouted at the screen.
Of course not. What are you talking about? You don't need to be so embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed. Just stop being weird. You sure? Sure.
What are you talking about? It was obvious that Kurisu had whispered something to Maho. What did she say? Maho glanced at me,
Deductive reasoning, my guy.
and for some reason she blushed and turned away. Oh, I see now. From the way Maho was acting and what I knew about Kurisu, there was only one possibility. God, you damn mainstream women. I whispered a name I often teased Kurisu with, and suddenly felt a lot better. He must have said something stupid
I
like,
remember him calling her that.
yeah, he's called her a lot of things, but I don't think that was one of them.
Yeah.
You two make a good couple, or you finally found a man, huh? The way she looked at a boy and a girl holding a friendly conversation, and immediately assumed they were dating, was just like the Kurisu I knew. Sheesh, what a system. It didn't need to be that true to her personality, did it? I chuckled. I wondered if this Kurisu also browses 4chan with Maho and the professor aren't looking. Knowing her, definitely. She's probably commenting on threads, too. I remembered Kurisu once browsed 4chan on the Future Gadget Laboratory's computer when she knew nobody else was around.
Hey, knock before you come in.
So, Christina,
Otherwise I'll have furry porn.
what were you looking at just now?
Wait, stay back. Hey, what's with that?
Hey.
Yeah, sure, buddy. Raffle a mile laughter.
Fear not, Christina, or should I call you a channeler, Chris?
Please, don't call me that.
I already knew. That's right. I realized long ago that you were an at-channeler, 4chaner. You reek of 4chan corruption.
How rude. I make sure to apply light perfume every day.
Fool! That is not what I meant. I'm talking about your soul's power level, but it's cute how you tried to hide it. 4chaneler,
Reference
Chris.
that you wouldn't get unless you spent a lot of time, or you wouldn't say, "No, I don't smell." Like, don't call me that.
Your soul's power level, huh? My silly remark seemed to have much deeper meaning now. Was the girl in front of me one day going to, as Dr. Leskinen had said, become a real artificial soul? When that happens, what are we supposed to call a soul that still existed in this world after the body was gone? Not dead or alive, but in between. This wasn't science anymore. It was philosophy, maybe even religion.
Enough messing around. Okabe-san didn't come here to waste his time with this stuff. Where you're trying to change a subject makes me even more suspicious. I'm going to infect you with a virus. I was kidding. I won't bring it up again.
Karisu quickly bowed her head. I bet back when Karisu was still alive, she had conversations like this with Maho every day. I'm sure Dr. Leskinen had a lot of fun watching them. It was actually kind of cute.
Sorry about that, Akabe-san. Want to try talking to her?
Oh. Maho offered me the seat. Karisu's face went on the monitor right in front of me. And our eyes met, smiled a little. I didn't know this was how she treated people when she first met them, because they never really first met.
Yeah, that never actually happened.
Well, I'm saying, in the original game, there was never a first meeting between them. They, like, because of the time loop, they always knew each other.
Yeah, it doesn't really work like that.
But then I remember...
the first speech, the first time when he's shouting at her while she's giving her talk, right?
Yeah, I guess.
But they don't have, but they've already, like, gotten past the...
Yeah.
Yeah,
But...
oh, and what's your name?
Yeah. But then I remembered that my first meeting with Karisu in the Alpha World line went about as badly as it possibly could have. I realized that her prickly attitude toward me could have been unusual for her.
Ask me whatever you want. I'll answer anything I can.
Alright. This wasn't good. I remembered every single moment I spent with Karisu. Couldn't think of what to say. And then the next words that came out of my mouth were... Is it possible to create a time machine?
Mm-hmm.
That was what I'd once argued about with Karisu on another world line. In the end, I'd lost the argument completely.
She made one. What? A time machine, you say? Where did this come from?
It's just a test.
You were talking about it.
I wanted to see if she was capable of thought experiments.
Well, Karisu. Let me see. My conclusion is that it's not possible. But I suppose we don't know for sure that it is impossible.
What? That wasn't what she originally said.
Let me start by saying that the very idea of a time machine is just absurd.
That is what Karisu had said in the Alpha World line. I remembered that well. I think the very idea of a time machine is just absurd. I remembered our old debate and decided to repeat what Karisu had said then.
It's too early to assume that.
You think so? It's true that scientists all around the world have proposed time travel theories. There were 11 major ones and countless minor ones. He's just verbatim repeating her.
Right.
But
this is exactly what she was saying.
None of them are anything more than hypotheses, and some of them directly contradict one another.
Correct.
For example, there is a cosmic string theory and a wormhole theory where time travel is possible as a thought experiment, but no one has a clue when you would go to get the cosmic strings or exotic matter. In other words, it's just not realistic. This is also something that Karisu had told me in the Alpha World line, but the Karisu on the screen was unmoved.
That's probably because scientists haven't discovered something important yet.
Then you think it's possible to create a time machine?
Hasn't been ruled out yet. said. We don't know for sure that it's impossible.
Yeah, her opinion was slightly different. Was this because I was in the beta world line, or perhaps... Hey, Maho.
Hmm?
You know she's made from a copy of the original's memories, right?
Well, she does now. Of course.
Then, I can't think of a good example, but... Is it like identical twins? You can't tell them apart at birth, but as they grow, differences start to form? Or something like that?
We're still investigating that, but if the memories they build up are different, then I think that of course they become something different from the original human. The professor agrees with me.
Hey. It was then that I heard the door on the other side of the partition slam shut.
Is that the professor? From the loud sound of the footsteps, I'd assume so.
I could definitely hear somebody stomping around. Then after a heavy knock, the door of the booth flung open. Lintalo! Lintalo? The professor opened his arms wide as he came inside. He grabbed my hand and began to wave it around. I hadn't realized he was this friendly. He seemed to think he was giving me a handshake, but it felt like I was being worked over by a pro wrestler. Hey, boy, what's up? I'm fine, thanks. And you?
Okay, son. Oh, whoops, wrong voice. Your English is terrible.
Shut up, Christina! Uh-oh.
Yep, it's slipping. Christina?
Ugh. Oh no, I was so focused on the professor that I used my old nickname for her. It's nothing, don't worry about it.
I don't know why, but I don't fucking like it. I am worried about it. Why did you call me Christina?
I told you it's nothing.
It's not that one. You're freaking out a lot over nothing.
I told you to shut up, Kurisu.
Did it again. You're weird.
Kurisu and Maho both seemed lost in thought.
He's weird. You called her Christina, huh?
You two, just drop it. I didn't want any more questions about this. Since the professor was here, I decided to ask more about how Amadeus' memories work.
So the beep boops and the computerings.
Professor, is it possible for Amadeus' memories to be externally modified? But the professor wasn't listening to my question. He seemed to be frantically searching his pockets for something. Come to think of it, I didn't see that translator device on his ear. He must have been looking for it which meant odds were good he didn't even understand my question.
Modifying memories. It is theoretically possible.
Risu herself answered in the professor's place.
For example, it would be possible to make me think that my name was Christina. But memory data isn't like normal data. It's much more complex. I'm aware of no successful attempts to modify it. And even if the attempt succeeded, I'd notice it and repair myself. How? I keep logs in an area that only I can access. Not a thing. In other words, a secret diary. You put it under your mattress. If there was a discrepancy between my current memories and my diary, there's a very high probability I'd become suspicious. What's more, all my memories are backed up at regular intervals. Even if they were altered beyond a point where I could self-repair, I'd still be able to restore them. I'd lose any memories that had formed between then and the last backup, though.
I see. Regardless of the topic of discussion, it felt strange. But Maho had said before she loaded Karisu was true. I was starting to feel like I was chatting with the real Karisu. The way she wouldn't let you get a word in edgewise once she started talking about science was exactly like the real Karisu. It's interesting. I turned towards Karisu and spoke. You're able to consider yourself objectively as a machine. From what I see in books and comics, I'd expect you to say, I am not a machine, I am human.
That's pure nonsense. Even humans speak of themselves as a combination of hardware and software, right? They just call it biology and psychology. What's the difference?
See.
She's better with comebacks than anyone I know, isn't she?
When I heard this, Karisu turned towards Maho. Her CGI eyes big and round, though it was really just a camera sensor moving.
You know, Senpai, this may not be any of my business, but you should watch what you say. You finally got your chance. What if he stops liking you? What? Come on. Don't bring that up again. But it's what I find most interesting right now. It's what I find most meaningless right now. What if this is the last chance you'll ever get? Damn, I went dark all of a sudden. Is that a threat?
It might be.
You're the one who needs to learn to watch what you say.
Ha 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 ha. Dr. Luskin was clapping his hands together and laughing. I had to chuckle a little too. Afterward, the three of us, including the professor, talked to Karisu, discussing technical subjects and making small talk. The next thing I know, it had been almost an hour. I actually felt a little sad when Maho told me it was time to stop. In just a single hour, the strangeness I felt about Amadeus had disappeared. I felt like I was really talking to Karisu. Alright. Well, that scene ended, so I guess it's over.
Alright. Yeah, it must have been something about that one sequence where it was giving you trouble, because we didn't see any that happen again. It's really weird.
Alrighty. Well, as you can see, it's technically it is a continuation of Steins Gate.
Yeah.
And we're dealing with some AI shenanigans and what's gonna happen from there.
Yeah, it's both. Yeah, technically a sequel, but also kind of a prequel. It's that's at least an interesting storytelling choice.
Yeah, and can only work in time travel.
Yeah, like this feels like it fits, which is impressive given the wildness of Steins Gate.
Right.
And all the rest of them are pretty weird too, but like, yeah, like this is good. I don't know. We'll see, if it can keep up the pace like the last one did, it seems like this should be a good time. I'm excited.
Nice. I was hoping you'd say that. Because I would like to see how this story ends, really, conclusively. All right, well, that's going to do it for us tonight. It is now technically Christmas Eve day. So with that, we're going to go ahead and call it here. We may be here on Christmas. We'll have to sync up and find out. Should be the plan. But if you want to get notified on when we go live, you can always subscribe to the channel or join a Discord. Link for that down below, as well as a link to a Patreon, where if you want to give us some money, you can. You don't have to if you want to. But we go live every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. So with Thursday being Christmas, we're still gonna go live. You guys may not be here, But we'll be here
Yeah.
streaming anyway because that's what we
You don't
do.
got anything else going on?
Yeah.
We'll be here.
Yeah.
You can come kick
Come
it.
hang out and
Watch us
get ready
do
to
whatever it is that we decide to do.
And if-
Probably this, I assume.
and get
but,
ready to
you know,
cry.
something.
Oh,
Okay.
oh man. Anyway, that's gonna be it for us tonight. We'll see you Thursday. And happy Thanksgiving. Not damn, almost Merry Christmas. All right, we're out. Yeah.
Happy